to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Hello, my people. How you doing on this beautiful day? This is your man Rob. This is Rah Source Radio, and you in the building. I want to thank you for coming out to connect with us. I hope I have a lesson for you today. Today's show is on the art of manifestation. Now, if you're like many people out here who've gone to church and read those books, As a Man Thinketh, and so on and so forth, then you may have some semblance of hearing of miracles happening. I mean, even if you've seen a movie, and these same people who go to these movies, read these books, etc. Some of them actually apply what they learn and start to make magic happen in their life. You see, manifesting is something that was given to us since our inception. If you're Christian, then you know that we were given dominion over the angels, over the demons, and over everything pretty much. I mean, even Earth. And as it also states, we're the children of God. What is God? And people ask me this all the time. I said, do you see these trees? Do you feel this breeze that's blowing across your face? Do you feel the warmth of the sun rays? Do you not see the stars in the sky? So what is God? God is everything around you. It's the energy that holds everything together. It's the entity that holds everything together. He or she, depending upon your view, permeates everything here, even you. Some people may be atheists, and whether you are or aren't, it will still work for you. What if I told you that you could have everything you wanted? And depending upon the size of it may determine the time. Also, depending upon your personal belief of how, i.e., how hard it would be to accomplish, determines the time or the size, or if it even comes at all. Some time ago I read this book called "Asking Is Given Is Given to Thee" by Abraham Hicks. It's a pretty good book. I'll put a link in the bottom for you guys to look, get your copy, buy your copy, or whatever. And I actually read this book, oof, early 2000s, maybe 2004, 2005. And I read a lot of other books. I've read the Quran, the Bible, Hindu religions, Buddhism, Judaism, Shantano, indigenous religions. I've grazed across the Egyptian Book of the Dead. And there's so many more ancient texts. I'm not going to call them religious because some of those texts are history books mixed in with spiritual or natural laws that serve us and correct us if needed. The first step to manifesting actually alludes back to a previous show I did on removing blockages. You see, the biggest issue, the biggest problem is us. Heck, we can look around the world and see that everything that's going wrong in this world is because of us. Everything that's going wrong in your body is because of us. The stresses, the wars, the poison air, the poison food, all the things are because of us. So, as the first step, you have to learn to figure out what type of limiting beliefs that you have. What types of things go on in your mind that limit you on a regular basis? Why don't you believe that if you ask for something, it shall be given unto you? Well, I tell you because the vast majority of people seem to think they are human beings trying to have a spiritual experience, trying to learn spirituality, or the other portion, major portion, don't even believe in this type of stuff, and the final portion doesn't think they're good enough. I'm going to clear that up right now. Then I'll get the other two. I know people, I've been that person. I've seen family members and friends all go through their trials and tribulations, their battles, which were mainly internal battles. Typically, they would think, they would wonder why things would always go awry. When things look good and they should go forward, but they don't. It's because they were programmed with falsehoods at an early age. Typically, the parents set parameters and limitations on a child's mind, quickly pushing the child out of the land of imaginary into the land of disparity, the land of lack. Now, I'm not a proponent to giving your child everything. No, 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 no. They already get spoiled every other day, every holidays and birthdays and so on and so forth. So I'm not a proponent of parents giving the child everything, but I am a proponent to parents not offering their child ways to make it happen on their own. I am a proponent to parents putting limiting beliefs on children who are mentally defenseless to guard themselves. And then some church have dogmas and things that say you can't have this. It's easier to fit through get a candle through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the king of heaven. When the truth is, no matter if you're rich or poor, getting to the kingdom of heaven is a hard road to toe. Very hard, very demanding, you know. So some people would say, money doesn't grow on trees. Technically, it does. It's made from paper, which is made from trees. It has cotton and silk in it, I think. It's either cotton or silk, or both. And inks and things, which all came from plants. So parents, technically, money does come from trees. Technically. So let me explain the manifestation process. And then I'll explain to you how these thoughts can literally block your manifestation. And maybe I can come up with a few ways that help you overcome those thoughts. I mean, I've had those thoughts and I still do. But let's go with the law of cause and effect. If you put out something, something comes back. If you pay for a t-shirt, the t-shirt goes home with you. If you don't put gas in your car, sooner or later your car is going to run out of gas. That's kind of how cause and effect works. But if you notice, it's every action has a equal and opposite reaction. Now, on a metaphysical level, and this is how I'm going to break it down. And I broke this down in a couple different shows. We live in an energetic environment. Things seen and unseen, we can feel or hear. Everything breaks down to Adam and Eve, the electron, the atom, the building block of everything. And Adam breaks down into smaller pieces, photons, neutrons, electrons, all the way down. And they ultimately break down into particles of energy, according to Einstein's theory, E equals mc squared, which basically states that energy equals matter to the fourth power. So I'm saying that they are saying that one particle of energy is the same as four parts of matter. Therefore, if everything is matter on its base level, it's energy. Now, what do we fight for in this world most of the time? Oil. Energy, energy, energy keeps the world moving round. But the thought process of the man being man, merely man, and the man not being comprised of energy that allows us to see or to feel the man. Well, are you sure it's energy? That everything is energy? Yup. How do you know? Well, I just told you scientifically, but even with your eyes, I say to you, do you know how the eyes work? I'm going to give the regular man's version. I'm not going to go all super scientific on it and give you every single name. And nah, we're not going to do all that. We're gonna keep it where it needs to be. And science tries to overcomplicate things to make people feel inferior or something, and that's just not true. Yeah, it's kind of work like this. You know, when you look at something, you actually see it upside down, and then the picture is turned right side up inside of your brain. So literally, we could be standing upside down. Do you guys realize that? So, well, how does it? How does how does the eye capture pictures? How does it? How are you able to see? How does a camera pack capture pictures? How does a video camera capture movies? How you, you don't realize that the cameras on your phone, the cameras that you watch your movies from, or that you make yourself, act just like the eye to capture light. Well, really, what they do is they capture the energy signature of light, and you see light on a picture. Your eyes capture light, which is energy, and you see light in your vision. No sunlight, no energy shining. You see darkness, unless it's the moon. This should help distill a lot of stuff. People who may be atheists, Scientology, or what have you, any religion, and religions that try to push out science are wrong. You see, science is to understand the creator's hand at work better, and to understand his work, not only what's going on outside but inside of you, brings you closer to understanding the creator and through its creation. So to Christians and Muslims and Catholics and those who don't subscribe to science as originally part of religion, you're false. Let me get back to it. So your eyes really are just picking up the electrical signals that are emanated from each individual atom and whatever piece of matter, and we know that breaks all the way down to energy. That energy is part of God's power. It is what holds everything together. It is what brings everything to light. It is what gives things different color hues. Heck, it's what you breathe in. It's what you drink. It's what you feel from the sun. It's energy. I hope that so we can keep it moving. I hope that kind of breaks things down for you as far as, is it even possible? Can miracles happen today? Well, if everything is electrical and there is no difference between, really no difference between you and what's around you, we are really in somewhat a matrix. And this matrix deals with cause and effect. You plant a seed, you get a tree. You eat a Chick-fil-A sandwich, you poop. Maybe not right away. And notice that it's always an exchange, action, which is energy, putting forth energy, which brings back energy, depending upon the focus and your intention, determines what comes back. Like for instance, they call our money system currency. No matter what country you got, if you use the word currency, you have some currency. Most of them will understand what you're talking about. But what else has a current? The water has a current, but most importantly, electricity has a current. And the force you push out is going to cause something to come back in. When you speak to somebody, when you push that energy out to speak to somebody, typically they'll push it back in, or if they are snooty, they'll think to themselves, I ain't talking to you, and you feel like damn, you ain't gonna say nothing. And their action will send you back something. But regardless of what's going on, we're dealing with currency. The exchange of currency. You go work 8 hours or 40 hours for a whole week so you can get a week check in here. You come home with $450, $500. That's you expressing, pushing out your energy currency, and in return you get receive currency. A painter pushes out his energy on canvas. The canvas captures the energy and then pushes out the image for other people to enjoy. And if it's in an art gallery, it may even bring currency, money. Now, it's a simple system. I mean, we overcomplicate it. We change the word as work, 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 work. Work, 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 work. I can't do the part that she says, Rihanna, you know. But instead, if you view it, it's an energy exchange. You're gonna expel this amount of energy, and you're gonna get back this. Typically, when you push out into what we call all these things that surround us, the air, the stratosphere, we call the ether, or the assured presence of God's energy. So yes, manifestation is possible because it's merely just an energy exchange, and that exchange doesn't necessarily have to be physical. It can be you speaking and pull back a currency. It can be you thinking and pull back a currency. It can be anything. If my finger pulls a trigger, lets me exert an energy, which causes the hammer to hit the head and to project a bullet. That's the chain reaction of energy moving through. The bullet leaves the chamber with amplified energy, mind you. And that same amplified energy is something that happens when you have an energy exchange. When you push out something, it seems to expand. It's just like if you drop a pebble into a pond, it hits and the waves start small and they begin to expand. The same thing, same way with a thought, the same way with the action, same thing with your words. You drop it in this pond and it begins to expand. The bullet hits a tomato. Tomato explodes, bullet continues through and hits a tree and gets stuck in the tree. Now that result wasn't exactly good if that was the only tomato you had to eat. So no matter the energy exchange, it can be for your benefit or for your demise, or not for your benefit, basically. Now, as I explained earlier, we live in an energetic area, energetic place. And when we interact with it, we cause these ripples of cause and effect around us. When we speak, we cause ripples of cause and effect around us. There's people who are telepathic or can read minds basically, and they can hear your thoughts expand. They do tests in like clinical trials when they were doing brain trials, testing out the brain to see how its function is and so on and so forth. I know if you're having sleep problems, they'll hook you up to a machine that measure your brain activity. They couldn't measure brain activity if your brain wasn't pushing out energy waves for it to pick up. And that's pretty much what happens. So the first thing you need to do, now that I explain how it all works, and that's pretty much how it works. The technical explanation of manifestation, mixed in with a little bit of spiritual knowledge. But it all works together. When you release energy in any form, it has to come back. Even if you send energy to someone else, like you send flowers to your girlfriend sends you energy saying thank you, and you feel that energy, you feel good about yourself. Now, what affects that energy, since I said it comes from your mouth and your thought patterns, can definitely affect the things around you. We'll go to a scripture inside the Bible where it says that you shall eat the fruit of thy tongue. Meaning that what you say, you shall, well, let's see, the energy you release from your mouth, you shall reap the benefit of it. You shall reap what you sow. That's what all that means. and people deny it. They deny it. They rather believe that they're human, comprised of matter that is completely solid. And for those people, I say that's what it is. It's solid because that's what you believe. What I'm trying to get you guys to do is to go from not having any faith to having some faith to believing to knowing. And knowing is the strongest point of manifestation. Knowing. Knowing it's coming. Knowing it's going to be. Knowing that. It's in all the religions. And I know people are afraid of that word. I'll say it again. I know people are afraid of that word, but it's in all the religions. And science continuously proves that we live in an energetic world and that we influence this world via action, via voice, via thought. So back to the original point of this, which was clearing your mind for this. All right, because see, even the things that you have in your mind manifest themselves when you confess it with your voice. You amplify the energy. You put in two forms of energy release on one thing. If you put physical into it, then you have 3 points of access that you're pushing in energy into this etheric substance, into the God power, the power of God, into the consciousness of God, or energy, or matrix, or whatever you guys wish to view it as. It's just natural law. When you press out energy, energy comes back to you. So, does it really do that? Yeah. Now, the reason why a lot of us are stuck in our place, in the same place I should say, is because of, like I said earlier, limiting thoughts and beliefs. And maybe you guys can, in the comment section down below, write down some negative thoughts and beliefs, and I'll go through them on a show, and I'll work them out as if they were my problems or my issues on the show, and give you guys an example of how to erase limiting beliefs. But I'm going to give you a brief overview, and I hope this helps. I'll probably suggest some books you should check into that'll help you perfect this art of cleaning the limited beliefs out of your mind. I can name a few authors that are that have done great work on this. Basically, if I've heard my entire life, and this is, I want you to put this formula together, grab a pen and pencil. I'm about to grab a pencil too, and work it out with you. All right? If you were told money doesn't grow, trees. And this is one of the examples from earlier in the show. And you were told, wait a minute, which makes you think that it's hard to get. That's what it makes you think. And then you're told that, let's see, you gotta work, you gotta work hard for your money. Or you hear, this is what you probably hear: I work hard for my money. I work hard for my money. Once again, giving you the same impression that it's hard to get. It meaning money. Money is hard to get. Then you hear all the time, nothing comes easy. Once again, affirming it's hard to make money. Now, all these phrases are different, but the core thought of it is that it's hard to get money. I mean, the list can go on. It's hard to get ahead. You know, hard work, low pay. The list literally goes on. But the thought is of lack. The thought is of I have to wear myself out to make decent money. And maybe that's the program the system puts into you so that when you go work for these factories, or you go work at McDonald's, or you go work as a lawyer, you go work here, you go work there, you work extremely hard and it's never going to be enough, or you're never going to even try to go out here and make money. That thought is what permeates from a person's head. And then they affirm it when they talk to their friends. Yeah, man, I work hard this week. Making it difficult, or making the manifestation of these things slow down, may even stop, choking out the seed of wealth that you want. And you talk and think and act against it. And you have an opposing energy, one which is positive, saying, you know, I want this money. I'm going to get this money. Excuse me. And at the same time, while you're pushing out that energy, you got your other hand pulling your other hand back, saying it's hard to get this money. I don't want to. I don't want to wear myself out. No one wants to wear themselves out. You know. Some people enjoy it, work until they're tired. Give me a second. Let me drink some of this water. You know. So you find yourself at a stalemate, a standstill. You're pushing the energy and you're pulling it back. You're pushing the energy and you're pulling it back. And you know what that does? It causes you to stress out and to burn yourself out. Really. And the thing that you're trying to get never manifests because you've been beating it and bombarding it with it's hard to get. And what does that hard to get feeling make you feel? How does it make you feel? It makes you feel less than. It makes you feel lack. It makes you feel poverty. And then this is reaffirmed by the things that you see that other people got. And all this stuff, pertains to the ego. On this particular one, you've given the energy that you've given money more value than the energy you release, thus making it hard for you to receive what you really want. As far as in this one, when it's talking about money. So that's just an example of the blockages that keep people from being successful, that keep people from being financially free, that kept me for a while from being financially free. And if you don't believe me and all the stuff I said earlier, go do the research yourself. Like I said, I'll probably put a link to some books or put some books up for you guys to go check into. Some of them you can find for free, but preferably I would like for you to help support this channel so we can continue to bring um, quality information to you. But that doesn't mean you have to. What you really have to do is you have to home in those limiting beliefs. That is the biggest reason why we as a people don't manifest the things that we want, and those who have a better control of their mind, and this is the only gift that we were really given, was control of our minds, and that's more powerful than anything that you can think of. You may say weapons and computers, but think about it, this mind created that stuff. So the creation can never really fully be better than the creator, unless it continuously upgrades like we do. And modern science is getting close to matching that, which I feel will be the beginning of our demise, as far as with computers and androids or droids or whatever you want to call them. But that's in the future and future realms and all this type of stuff. But movies, perhaps, but it might just come through. So, like I said, step one is getting rid of the limiting beliefs that stop your manifestation. Here's a quick tip. There's of course, meditation is probably the best way, but the skill or the use of the law of autosuggestion. Right now, the power doesn't come from the conscious mind; it comes from the subconscious mind and the conscious mind coming together. What happens is the subconscious mind pushes against the conscious mind, and that causes that resistance. You have to align the conscious mind and the subconscious mind on the same goal. And when the subconscious mind believes what the conscious mind says, it will continue. It will continue. In fact, it will strengthen. It will strengthen. And it will get to the point where you start to see what they call synchronicity appear in front of you. I ask for this, boom, I get that. I think about this, boom, I get this. So gaining control is paramount, and it's fairly easy. So basically, when you would hear money doesn't grow on trees, right? Here's one little tip you can do. You can use, if you're Christian, you can use I bound that thought and reject it from me, or you can just say I reject it from me. Or you can learn the art of capturing the energy and changing the words to it. Money doesn't grow on trees, and you hear someone say that to you, you say to yourself, yeah, money does grow on trees. And then you envision a tree growing with money. That's a more advanced skill. I prefer for beginners who are learning to gain control of their mind to more or less, my apologies, more or less focus or just make a decision and cut that energy stream that's coming to you off and reflect it. It's probably the easiest way. But if you do it the other way, you actually could accept that energy and increase it, turn it around and put it into your subconscious, align your conscious, and keep your conscious aligned with your subconscious, and boom, you gain more power on it. That's a super advanced skill, but possible. But once you've cleared the chatter, you've prepared the dinner table, you've emptied the construct that they talk about in the Matrix, and you enter into a clean mind, a clean state of thinking, a clean state of being. You are now prepared for the manifestation process. You say you wanted a car. This is part two, right? Part one is clearing the mind. Step two is the actual full process of manifestation, and it's making a decision on something and then finding multiple ways to express that energy or press that energy out and around you. So say you want a car. I'm going to give you three things that you can use to help speed this up. You want a car. The first thing you do is you go and you look for what type of car you want. Mind you, no inhibitions, no limitations. You go out and physically look at the car. Once you found the car that you want, say it's a Mercedes Mach 5, something I always wanted. The racing Mercedes, BMW, I mean. And you see the picture and you hold that picture into your mind. And you repeat to yourself, I know this car is mine. This car is mine. I know this car is mine. This car is mine. And you pull that image off of that picture you found and you burn that into your memory. You see it. You do a mental personal virtual reality and you touch it. You feel what it's like to drive it. You give appreciation for it. Step two, you give appreciation for it. I appreciate my new car. I love my new car. I'm so grateful I have my new car. Further increasing the energy behind this and aligning your minds, MIDS, your conscious and unconscious, to it. You envision so much that you feel it when you speak your affirmations of of appreciation for having it. You feel it in your heart. That's part 3. Get it into your heart. Then perhaps you may find a local dealer and you go out and you test drive one. If you can't imagine it, you go out and you test drive one. And rub the seats. Crank the volume up. Roll the windows down. Turn the AC on. Drive fast. Exhilarate yourself. Feel it as part of you. Feel it as being with you now, not tomorrow. Don't say to yourself, I'll get it one day. No, you feed it, and you do it daily. Not necessarily going to test drive the car, but seeing it, feeling it, speaking it. Knowing, not having faith you'll get it, or maybe you'll get it, or believing you'll get it. No, you have it. And the more mental energy, you don't even necessarily have to do physical things, the more mental energy is exuded. After you locked your mind on that one thing, I suggest you only do one thing at a time. Don't overcrowd yourself. You lock your mind on one thing, then you're pulling all your faculties. You're not splitting your, and this is what life does. They try to keep you split thin and have your mind on 20 different things, but you shut that stuff off and you focus on that one thing. And each time you close your eyes, you see it. It gets bigger. It gets more descriptive, more vibrant. You enjoy each and every single time even more and more and more and more. You feed that energy. You feel it in your heart and you expand that energy. You got your two minds together and it's coming through, and I'm telling you, it has no choice but to manifest itself because you're exerting energy, currency. And there may be some complexities in getting it happen. So you may be exerting this out, and then an opportunity comes around for you to get the money to get it. You may even win the lottery. But I guarantee you an opportunity will come around as long as those trees, those speed bumps, those limiting beliefs are gone. Remember the Matrix when he went to go see the Oracle. And the Oracle's like supposed to tell him if he was the savior or something. And she looked at him. He was all nervous, and that's the energy he was pushing off. She looked at him and said, "Give me your hands. Give me your hands." And she looks at his hands, studies him for a little while, and then looks at him and says, "What do you think? What do you think I'm thinking?" And he says to her, "I'm not the one." And she says to him, "Yep, I'm sorry, champ. You're not the one. You want a cookie?" And then she dropped a little seed and said, "You're going to come up to a decision where you're going to decide. Because people out here believe that you Morpheus. And he's going to give his life up for you." Use the lock and the keys. The breakthrough is you. You. You the lock and the keys. Now there's a multiple ways. I may do an affirmation tape where I just do a bunch of positive affirmations and you guys can listen in. I'll couple up some good music. It will manifest together, but I tell you, you must have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, your heart, your feeling. You must be able to feel it. And then have it, feel it within your entire being. You have so many atoms in you. You can exude this through every single pore. As long as it has a constant, strong energy supply. Just like as long as you work hard and strong at your job, you will get what you are trying to get. As long as you constantly throwing that energy in there, it will manifest. Once that intention is set, the final key, forget about it. Of course, write everything down, but forget about it. Release it. You threw a punch. You release the pressure when you pull back. The release it. You have to release it. Don't constantly think about it, because what happens is you'll constantly think about it and you end up shaking it up. You may end up resetting the process. So you don't want to do it too much. I say do it for 7 days. That's completion. Sometimes it'll happen the same day if it's something small, something easily accessible. Sometimes it may take a couple of days. I've seen it happen within seconds. Either the piece of food I was desiring or the object that I wanted, an opportunity to get the object that I wanted would bring itself to me. Don't worry about how you're going to do it. That's going to overcomplicate things. Just know that it's done, and each step will be brought to you. Boom, 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 boom. And unlike us, God deals in efficiency. He's not going to take the longest way to get root. Energy moves fast. It doesn't creep. As soon as you turn a light switch on, the light comes on quick. It doesn't wait 5 seconds unless you got one of those gas, hydrogen ones or whatever. I forgot what they're called. We we as a people got to move from having faith and believing to knowing. There's a game that there's a game that that I used to play. Turn the music down a little bit. Appreciation game. And the game was, well, it goes like this. I'm thankful for whatever it is. I'm thankful for the beautiful day I'm thankful for the car that I got. Appreciation for the things you do have. Appreciation for the things that you want, but you appreciate them as if they are. I'm thankful for my college degree. I'm thankful for the job opportunities I've received. I'm thankful for the many different easy ways for money to flow into my life. I'm thankful that I'm able to do something I love and gain wealth from it. I'm thankful for the people around me that help make this, whatever it is, come true. So I guess I'm saying the ultimate thing is to release it and then be thankful for its presence in your life. Anyway, guys, this concludes another episode of Rah Source Radio. I am your host, Rah. Tune in next week. Actually, next week we're going to do a show on the chakra systems. We're going to break that down for you and go step by step into each one. I may do a short one just on the chakra systems. I may do a short presentation for you guys to look at, so you can understand these energies that we have flowing through us. Until next time, family, know I love you. Walk in peace, walk in harmony, and always let your soul shine. Rah Source Radio. We out.